Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Truce 2005. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. Believe it or not, I thought I was going to hate this movie. The buildup was really slow, but I love the cinematography. I sort of gradually fell in love with the crusty old rancher dude and his granddaughter. Kind of impressed me the way they were sort of like yin and yang, kind of fighting a lot, but the crusty old stuck to his guns and showed her some tough love, and she took the bait. She actually went along with it. Kind of reminded me of my relationship with my grandfather, actually. During the 70s. And yeah, so I don't know. I could have swore to Adrian that I was going to hate this movie. It's one of those modern westerns which Adrian kind of looks down on, but this movie really grew on me, especially towards the end. I thought it had a great ending, great cinematography. I like the family values, kind of tough love of the grandfather figure. Kind of stuck with me, like eating steak and potatoes, I guess. Sort of like watching this movie, and it actually does have steak and potatoes in it. So there you go. Yeah, I'm cooking steak right now. I better go check on it pretty soon. But it's about this crusty old rancher guy. He's struggling because meat prices are at an all-time low, and feed prices are at an all-time high. So he's a couple months behind on his mortgage on his ranch, I guess. He's got bank collectors breathing down his neck and whatnot. I guess you're supposed to feel sorry for the guy because he demonstrates the plight of the cattle rancher. And so he's living there by himself. He keeps having flashbacks of his alcoholic past. His daughter gets in a car accident. She ends up dying, ironically, from a drunk driver, I guess. I like the George Kennedy character, the doctor guy. He seemed like a really down-to-earth fellow, understanding and kind of empathetic kind of figure. And the rancher dude is just a God-fearing kind of guilt-ridden. I don't know how to explain it. He's just really grumpy, and he takes out his frustration on his granddaughter. After his daughter dies, he ends up having to take care of her, and he's got a neighbor. They're sort of best friends kind of thing, but they're kissing each other on the lips because they're getting up there in age. Although his girlfriend doesn't really show much age compared to him. She might be like 10 years younger or something. And so there's that. At first, they don't get along, the grandfather and the granddaughter. He's constantly yelling at her and telling her to do things that she doesn't want to do. Snooping on her diary and whatnot, but she always comes back to him like a father figure, sort of like my relationship with my grandfather, and pretty cool. She starts accepting him more and more. she becomes friends with the rancher's girlfriend's daughter, and she's going to boarding school, and they, her mom even talks about taking her out of boarding school, which is kind of interesting. A lot of different dynamics in this one. And, the rancher dude, frustrated that his granddaughter isn't able to control the cows and get them all in the gate at the same time. He lassos one of the cows, and then the cow's like dragging him in the dirt, and he messes up his back real bad. Not to the point where he's like paraplegic, but he's out for a couple weeks. So he depends on his granddaughter a lot to help him get through those 2 weeks. She does a pretty good job and to redeem herself. So it's kind of an uplifting film, even though the guy's terrible with finances. He seems to be a good grandfather. He prays at the table during every time he eats. He likes to eat hot sauce. Nobody else enjoys his hot sauce fetish. So a lot of different interesting things about this guy. He's really determined to continue his ranch ways, and sort of works out in the end. I thought it was a really good ending. And I'll try to look for the film and the trailer, and if I find either of those, I'll post them in the description box. So look out for that. And this movie really surprised me. I was taken aback by it, quite honestly. It's a bit refreshing and different compared to most movies from Hollywood these days. So it's definitely not politically correct kind of movie. It's more like a family movie, I guess, kind of thing. I could definitely watch this with my mom if she didn't have dementia, and she'd probably like it because it's so endearing, charming, and somewhat of a tearjerker towards the end. So that's the end of my review. Laters.